Hi, I'm Zalik Pete, software developer at Garz Fricke Company. Today I'd like to show you how to actually get a little code running on your new Garz Fricke device. And I'll show you how to connect the device to the power and your development machine. I will point you to the right direction where to find the manuals for your product. And I'll show you how to download and install the SDK. And after that, we will set up QtCreator to actually work with the cross-compile environment. And then we'll take one of the Qt examples and compile it with our cross-compiler, deploy it to the device, and play a little around with it. In the last step, we'll add it to the Autostart, and then you're done. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing we actually need to do is plug in all the connectors. So let's flip around the device, and we will be deploying our application through SSH. So we'll need an Ethernet connection. So I'll plug that in, and since we will need to find out the IP address of the device in our network, I'll use the serial connection. And last but not least, let's have some power. Okay. And here we go. Device is booting up. And that would be the first step.
The first thing we do before we actually jump into Linux is fire up Teraterm and connect through the serial port. These are the settings. This is the baud rate and everything. You can use whatever terminal program you'd like. And I happen to like Teraterm. Let's see. And we're in. The default login, or the way that the devices are shipped, is that you should log in as root and there is no password. So once you put this in a productive position, you might want to change that. But in this case, it's kind of convenient for us. As you can see, the first thing that's spit out is actually the version string of this particular Linux release, which is Jethro 11. If you ever are in doubt and want to find out what's installed, and for some reason you didn't see that one, you can just type uname -r, and then it will give you that string. So this will come in handy when we go and download the SDK. The other thing I want to find out is the IP address of the device. So let's see, and there it is. So we'll use that later when we're setting up our QtCreator. Okay, let's go and straight into Ubuntu. So this is my freshly set up development machine. It's Ubuntu. It's a virtual machine. You can use native Linux or whatever you like. And let's go to the Garz Fricke website. A bookmark here. Okay, so we accept the cookies, and by default the website opens in German because it's my local setting here. So let's switch over to English. There we go. The first thing we want to find is our specific system, or product rather, that we acquired. So we go to products, and no, my device is a panel mount HMI, so I'm going to click that. And as you can see, there are quite a few devices available here. So I know the display size is 10.1 inches, and this only leaves 3 candidates. And since I've seen the boot logo, I know this is Santaro, so the other ones are Santokas, so it has to be this one. Let's go there. And this is the overview page for the system. We can check out the pictures, can even do a fancy 3D. I'm going to do that now, all the technical specs. But what I will do is take you to the quick guide for a moment. This little document contains all the information you need to get your system up and running really quick. All the cables that are included with it, the manual, the starter kit, how to connect everything. That's how I did it, and all the operating systems and handy QR codes that will take you to the download pages. All right. But since this is a software tutorial, let's go to the software section. As you can see, there's already a Rocco download page, but in this case we have Jethro, so that's where we have to go. So if you remember, we have the 11 here, the Jethro 11, which is the latest release. If you happen to have an older release, then you could find some downloads here in the history, or you might actually download the latest release. Well, the first thing I actually want to show you real quick is the manual, because this thing is very important. Most of your questions or most of the guides or everything we'll be doing today, certainly, you can actually find in the manual. And most of your questions will be answered here. So let's actually jump to chapter 7, building and running a user application. And the first step we have to take is actually downloading and installing the SDK. So let's do that now. We'll save that file. And I'll actually go ahead and also download the Qt package, because we will need the QCreator. And believe it or not, at the time of this recording, the official Qt download page was actually down. So I went ahead to this mirror of the University of Berkeley and downloaded the installer from here. The Linux 64-bit runnable. Yeah, not Android. All right, our downloads are complete. Let's install our software. Let's run this in a terminal. So here they are, and let's make them both executable. Now, as you can see, the pretty green letters, they are now executable. Let's start by running the SDK installer. Yeah, the default directory is fine, which is opt.gov. And already have it installed, but just for the sake of it. The SDK has been extracted. So let's just go ahead and also install Qt. Qt. And this is a more classic graphical installer here. We're going to skip this. Welcome to open source Qt. The directory is fine. And let's see. This is the one we are interested in. We just install this for the heck of it. Probably don't need it. At least not for this tutorial. I have read and agree. There we go. Qt is installed, and no, we will not launch now because there's more we have to do to actually get this to work with the SDK. And one of this we have to do before actually starting it. Let's do it. Source opt gov environment. There it is. You have to do that. After that, you can start the QCreator, which should be here. Tools, QCreator, Qt. Or is it? Sorry. Bin, QCreator. And this is welcome to the QCreator. Now let's set up our device and our SDK. We go to Tools, Options, Devices, add a new device, generic Linux device, start the wizard, give it a nice name, but Santaro, and the IP address. Let's see, what was it? Okay. Again, we will be logging in as root. Remember to change that, or rather change that. And let's see. And successful. That's what I wanted to read. So the device is now connected. Next up, the SDK. So go to the Build and Run tab, point Qt to the right compiler. So we have to add a new one. These are the ones that come with the Qt package on the native Linux system, and we need to add the cross compiler. So go to add GCC. And since this is a C++ project, we're going to add C++. Give it an adequate name like Santaro GCC. And now you have to navigate to where you install the SDK, which by default is opt-gov. Then the version of the SDK. You go to sysroots, x86, user bin, and then it's this one here. And there you see all the binaries. So this is the G++ compiler, so this is the one we pick. Hit apply. If you want, you can also add the C compiler here, but we won't be needing it. So let's skip that for now. Go to debuggers and do the same for the GDB. It's a new debugger, or maybe a Santaro GDB. And path's the same. There's the GDB. Open, apply. Okay, now we get that. QMake, very important. Add the QMake binary. Just move up one directory. There's the Qt5 directory, and there's QMake. So add this one to the kit. All right. Well, not to the kit, but the Qt version to the setup. Now let's combine them into a kit, is what I was going to say. So add a new kit. This is our Santaro kit. It's not for a desktop device, but for a generic Linux device. And it will pick our device that we picked here earlier. So for sysroots, we had that do it to me before. It's behind it. There it is. Okay, move back to the sysroots, and this is it. Okay, so we get that. Let's see, it automatically selected the correct GCC for this kit, which is what we wanted. Switch to this GDB and the correct QMake version. Now, for this thing here, /OE G++. Hit apply. And there goes our Santaro kit, which we can now use to build applications for the target. So there's one last tiny bit you can do if you want to work with GDB for debugging. And that is add this little line here. Sig il, no, well, can't write. Sig il, no stop. So in this case, then GDB won't stop on an illegal instruction signal. Okay, so now we've set everything up. And let's see if we can quickly test it. Let's open one of the example projects. And I decided maybe those the little clocks here would be make for a nifty demo. So let's open up this one. So when you open the project, it shows you a little bit how this works. I'll peek into it in a moment. So now we can select the kit which we want to configure it for. So yeah, in this case we only want to configure it for the Santaro kit, so let's do it. And now we've opened that project. Alright, up to the left you have like the tree view where you can navigate through all the different files associated with the project. We'll just quickly jump into the QML itself. So open the QML, and as you can see there is like a clocks and a clock QML. The clocks is like the main program, and the clock's like it's a class that defines a clock object. But you'll understand that when we look through this. Look at this through the designer. So let's open the main file here. So here you have a nice look at QML Code It's Qt's declarative markup language for modern user interfaces. And just to get a quick understanding of how these two QMLs are associated with one another, the clock is like an item that is instantiated here, and the delegate, as you can see, content, which is the path, this is where the clock file is located, and clock. So this is a list, and the delegate describes every element in the list, like of what type it is. So you have a list of clocks where you can specify city, where you put in the city name, and the time shift, like the time zone or the shift from UTC. And then you have this list model here, and one element of type clock for each city you want to show the current time for. So let's use the designer real quick, because this is one of the advantages of using the QCreator, is that you can build these things with a visual user interface, right? Here you can see it. So when you select something here, an element in your designer view, it will pull up all the properties that you can edit on the right side here. So in this case, we have a view, the clock view, which is of type list view, and you have all the attributes and options that are associated with a list view. So you can change like its flicking behavior, its size, of course, its velocity during the flicking behavior, all the kinds of stuff. You can do all kinds of fancy things with that. And in the future tutorial, we'll get into a lot of other nifty things like QML states and animations and transitions and stuff like that. But for now, let's just see if we can get this thing going real quick. We have set up our build environment before. So in theory, all we should be doing now, or we would need to be doing, is actually just hit the run button. And it should automatically deploy the binary to the device through SSH and start it, and you should see it. So now it's being compiled successfully, and there we are. It works. Awesome. Okay, go to application output. Stop this. Now let's do something fancy, or rather play around with it, as I promised in the introduction. Let's go to the code here, and because I can see all these beautiful cities like New York, London, Oslo, Mumbai, Tokyo, Brisbane, Los Angeles, and I kind of feel that it's missing something. Maybe it is actually missing the most beautiful city in the world. So, you know, let's get a copy of this here and add another list element like so. And let's see. Change the name to the one and only Hamburg. And here in Hamburg, we're also 1 hour off UTC. So now we've done that. Let's try again. And as you can see, sliding to the right, there's Hamburg. Awesome, isn't it? So now, the last step, as I promised, we will be adding this to the Autostart. We know that we can deploy the binary to our Santaro, but I have no idea where it's putting it. I mean, of course, we could manually copy it over, but, you know, let's be lazy and check out the project file here. And the target path is some kind of macro, install examples, quick demos, clocks. Let's just change that to something we can easily find, like, oh, I don't know, maybe user, share, and no, we don't need a clocks subdirectory, so let's go, just put it on user share. All right, so now let's actually SSH into it. So SSH, I have it here. Let's go into it. Let's see. Was it run it first? So it's being copied to So that's special place. I know we should have it here. So let's see if it's there. User share clocks. So there it is. But now we have to kind of add it to the startup procedure. And we have to actually also disable our default Garz Fricke demo that's being launched whenever you get a new device. So let's just go to C init D and look at this QtGov demo. So it's there. That's the thing. So let's make a copy of what is it? QtGov demo to clocks, because our program is called clocks. Now we have clocks. So let me show off my mad Vim skills. So this is a copy of the QtGov demo. We'll be really lazy and just swap everything out for clocks. So make this PID file here, run. We just make this window bigger a bit. Okay, that's that. And this here is the path to the binary. So where do we put it? Use share clocks. And sure, I forgot something, right? Ah, yeah, there's more. Look, but wait, there's more. Do the same thing here again. And again. All those clocks. And now for usage, might as well, you know, clocks. So we can start and stop it the same way we stopped the demo earlier in the tutorial. So this is looking good. Hit escape. Whoa. Oh, we saved that. Now we have to unregister the standard demo. Update. RCD -F. QtGov demo remove. So remove it. So it's now kicked out. See if our clocks is actually executable. It is, because we made a copy of it. Now we have to add our clocks to the Autostart. Update. Then the name of our process, it's clocks, and the levels, and yeah. Defaults you have to write there. Okay, so now we added it to the startup. And when we hit reboot, magic should be happening.
Alright, well, that concludes our little demonstration for today. So, to recap, I showed you how to plug in your device. I showed you where you could find the device manual and the operating system manuals. I showed you where to download the SDK, how to set up the cross-compile environment with your QCreator, how to build a little Qt application, how to deploy it to your target device. In the last step, we fiddled around a bit with it and we added it to the Autostart. So, thanks again for watching. Please check out our YouTube channel and hit subscribe if you'd like. Lots of more videos to come. Also, check out our website, garz-fricke.com, and don't forget, we make it yours.